I'm going to sketch out my pattern now. The first thing I'm going to do though is look through my old patterns here, the ones I created for the dolls and the bunnies and the birds, and I'm going to see if there's any pieces of these patterns that I can use for my elephant, because I am going to do an elephant, and good luck to us, right? Because I've never drawn an elephant before. I've never cut out an elephant, never made an elephant, I don't think, not even a fabric one. So I don't know if that could be a trunk or not. Maybe, I doubt it. You know, this kind of has an elephant looking body to me. So we might use that for our body. I don't know, we'll see. And we might could use part of that for our head. Let's see, what have we got here? No. I don't think any of this can be used. I guess I could take a little bit more time and figure it out, but I want to get started, so let's start with this. If you don't have a coffee cup already drawn up, you can draw just a regular shaped coffee cup like this, or any kind of body that you want for your elephant. I also was thinking of going this route. I don't know if you can see it. See, his body's kind of flat on the bottom, and then that hump. So we might try both. And actually, if I turn it that way, that's the way I probably would go. So let's just do that. And it's kind of cheating on my end as far as not showing you guys that I'm going to draw a body, but why not use what I already have and we just tweak it. I'm going to trace the body part right here, and like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect. Just get yourself started. Oop. Can't see it because it's white on white. And let's go around this way and this way. And I want him to be chunky. That might be the beginning of our elephant. Except we might want to make the top round. So I could take off this flat top here and just round it out. Like that. Okay? And that could be my elephant body. Okay, now we need a head. The head, oh, isn't this cute? I'm seeing a teacup with a face. Okay, I'm getting all sidetracked here. All right, let's see. What kind of head do we want? We want the shape of just kind of roundish with a little bit of a broad chin like that. Really no chin at all. I don't really want a chin. So I'm going to go kind of do this. Just get a little rough draft of what I want. I want big cheeks and kind of a big head. Tweak it some. And I want his head to be kind of pointed a little bit at the top, kind of like elephants have that little pointy part. I guess they do. At least the one I saw years ago, I remember having a pointy part. Let's do that. And I'm okay if the sides aren't that even because it just gives them character. Let's pretend that's our head. It may be too small. We may have to make it a little bit bigger. And then for the feet, I'm just going to make a couple of blocks, actually one, because I'm going to use it for both the feet and the arms. And let's make the bottom flat and like that. And that may be too small, but we'll see. And then we need a trunk. And let's see, we want big enough to be able to tack it to the face. It's not big enough. I want it bigger. I want a chunky elephant. Cute chunky. Let's try that. Let's just see. Okay, let's just practice and let's try. I'm gonna cut this out and I will be right back. I forgot his ears. We gotta have ears. How could I have forgotten ears? Okay, that's gonna be the cute part, the ears. I want the ears to attach here, so we need them to be a little bit narrowish down here, but then I want them to be like really big. Almost like a butterfly, except I want them roundish up here. I want them there. Okay. All right, now I'm going to cut this out. I'll be right back. Okay, let me show you what we have, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I know it's hard to see with this white paper, but here's his body. And once we get going, you'll see this better. Let's come a little closer. There's his body, and there's his head. Let's see, which way did it go? This way. I lowered the head just a little bit from this line here, and when you turn your piece over, you can see where you went wrong. This is more cheekish and this is not, so we're going to be doing this piece over, but just to give you an idea so far, there's his head. I just made a little chunky foot, so I'm going to be making 4 of those, and they'll probably sit either off like this or on his body like that, and then that'll be his arm also somewhere. The whole idea is just to get the concept of a elephant, not to be perfect. It like I said before, if I have to be perfect, I don't want to play. This is the ear, and as you can see, I traced out 2 little areas that I might cut, but when I went to actually cut, I went bigger and just kind of followed the general line, but made my own shape. And so that's one of his ears. And then his little trunk. I don't know if I like it. I think I want it to be fatter and cuter, but I'll know after I make the first one, because I might tweak the pattern after I make the first one. And it's going to go on his face like here. So you can see the beginning of our elephant right there. And he's going to get cuter, I promise. What I would do to fix my pattern that I don't like is I would trace it out again, except this time I'll trace it the way I want it. So this is the top of his head. I'll trace it the way I want it over here. I'll probably flip it over. And then I'd get the cheek over here too. That's a little better. Or you could fold your paper and cut it, but I'm just going to do it this way. Let's get this cut out, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step, okay? Now what I'm going to do is cut out my body. Actually, I'm going to trace it. I'm not going to cut it out yet. Onto my either chipboard or box or whatever I'm going to use. So I'm going to use this Belvita box, and I've opened it up, and we need to pan out a little bit. And we're going to trace our parts onto this box. So this is also going to go under the box art series video playlist, I think. And we'll probably name her whatever letter we left off with. And I think I left out the E by accident, so this is working out perfect. Be an elephant with an E. I got to name her though. Okay, the body you only need 1 piece. The head you only need 1. The trunk you only need 1. The ears you're going to need 2. And the feet you're going to need 4, because you're going to make those the hands also. So let's just find spots on the cardboard box. And let's just trace out the body parts. Okay, so I'm going to put this part in fast forward because I'm just going to be tracing the parts, and I'll let you watch it as I do it, okay? So I thought during the fast forwarded parts, instead of playing music like I usually do, I would just talk and babble and continue filling in words into the open space for those of you who like the talking. Now, I may not say anything important. I may not say anything for this project. I may just be using up my energy to throw out words into the world that don't mean a thing. But at least you get the talking part, right? And those of you who don't like the monotonous parts to be slow, that's fast. So here we go. Okay, we've got our parts traced out, and I don't know if you can see. I'm having a hard time seeing because I have such a bright glare in my eyes. Hopefully you can see the shapes. One thing I wanted to tell you though was when you are creating your arms and your legs and things like that, once you trace your first piece, you want to flip it over to trace the second one, because when you put them on, you want them to be the same shape. So if you did it this way twice and you went to put your one ear on, then you flipped it over to put your other ear on, depending on how you put your paper on. You can work it out, but I think it's better if you flip it. That way your shapes are right. I did not do that on my feet and legs, or hands and feet. I keep calling it hands. I don't know what to call it. Elephant that has, I guess, 4 feet. His feet. Because I'm thinking of chopping off some of his feet down to maybe a smaller size. Maybe, well, it's hard to show you. Maybe that big instead of this big. So once I get going, we'll know. I'm going to cut all these pieces out, and I won't do that on camera because it's really just cutting out. You know what cutting out is. And then I'll come back. And I haven't decided if she's going to get a teacup or a coffee cup or some other kind of something that she holds or sits with or on or in, or we'll see. Let's just get this cut out first. Okay, my pieces are cut out, and until I'm done with her, I will save these big pieces, and if I decide to make another one, I could probably get some feet and some trunks out of this, and I don't know what else I'll need these for, so I'm just going to save these off to the side for now. So let's see what we've got. I'm thinking, Bailey's snoring again. She snored in the last video. I'm thinking that I want to keep my, what was I going to say? My feet. I want to make them chunkier. Temporarily, let's put these up here like this. I don't know where the placements are going to go for sure yet. So we'll see. And I'll probably cut the feet down and make them a little chunkier. And I don't know if I want these out like this or like this. I don't know. Probably going to go like that. And then our little nose. So see, we got a cute little elephant started. I think she's going to be adorable. You can make her adorable. You can work on her and layer her until you like her and she's cute. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put paper on top of my pieces. So now I have to decide what color is she going to be, what kind of papers do I want to use, do I want to use scraps, do I want to use whatever. So I'm going to look through my scraps and see if there's scraps I can use first, because I really want to use up those. And if I don't see any scraps that I like for this, I will go to my paper stash and I will go through there and make more scraps because I'll be using more paper. So I'll come back in a second and share with you what I decided. I can't share with you the process of deciding what I'm going to use because it's all over the room. My papers are way over there and my scraps are over here, and so it's just too difficult to do that. But I will gather what I think I want to use, and then I'll share with you what I came up with, okay? So I'll be right back. I've gone through my scraps, and I do have some sizes that will work, but I've been working in my scraps so much lately that I'm kind of tired of seeing the same thing. So I decided that I would do something different, fresh and different. So I went over to my paper pads and I went to the small ones and looked through a few of those, and I found this one, and I found a piece of paper in here that I really, really like that kind of looks like it would suit her. And let's find it. It's this one here. I really like this. So I think that's going to be her body, and then we just need to come up with some coordinating I could say fabric. I got fabric on the brain lately because I'm going to do some stuff in fabric too. But and I meant to tell you too that you can also transform these into patterns for quilting. You could make these into little quilt blocks, you know, using fabric, and just use your pattern pieces that you cut out. Anyway, let's go with this for the body. And we need a coordinating one for the ear. That looks really cute. That will probably be my pick. I don't know if you can see this very well. I hope you can. Butterflies, no. Plain old flowers, pretty, but no. That one's pretty, but that's cute. You know, she might be carrying a handbag. That says Born to Shop on here. We might give her a tote bag, like a little shopping bag or something, and maybe make it out of that one, the plaid. So I think this one's the one I'm going to go with for her ears. So that's her ears, her body. I think her head will also be this because I'm going to cover her head with a little tiny circle to signify her face. Her trunk, I might make her trunk this stripy one, but let's do first things first. I'm not sure yet. So let's do the body first. First thing I want to do, put these off to the side, is do her body. And I told you before in the first video, I used double-sided tape or I used glue or both. And for gluing down the papers, I'm going to use double-sided tape and the glue stick. And I used score tape, but I also was using scrappy tape. This is what I had before. I switch back and forth depending on what I find online, but this is a little bit better value. I think you get a little more tape for your money, and I think it's a little less expensive. So I saved this packaging to remind myself I want to order some more of this. And for now, we just have scrappy score tape, and it's a 1/2 inch. Doesn't matter what size you use. Just go ahead and put your score tape down on your body pieces, different areas. Doesn't have to be covered because you're going to use glue too. And that gives it a good hold, and then we'll turn her over. And I'll fast forward through the rest of this, but I wanted to get you started and let you see how easy. I also want my nonstick mat, so hold on. Okay, now I have my nonstick mat I can glue and not worry about. I don't want to mess this paper up because I plan on doing something with it, painting on it or something. Writing on this is one way, so you need to be careful how you put it on there. You can do it any way you want to if you don't care, but I kind of want it to be up and down like this, the way it's supposed to go. 9 times out of 10, by the time I get through with these things, you can't see half of what I put on there anyway, so it's not really going to matter, I don't imagine. But then I just get my glue stick ready, and I peel off the back side of the tape. And it always takes forever if you feel like you're under pressure to get it off in a hurry. And then just cover the whole piece with glue and really cover the places that you didn't put any double-sided tape because you know that's going to need a little extra hold. And this gives you an opportunity, if you mess up, to kind of fix yourself before it's too late. Because the double-sided tape is a little bit slimy, sticky from the glue stick. And you put it down there. I may need the other piece. I don't think it's going to fit. Hopefully there's another piece. If not, we'll just make her have another back. I don't think it's going to fit. Then I cut this out, and I don't wait for glue to dry and all that stuff. I'd be waiting forever. Eyeballs would fall out waiting because I'd be doing a lot of waiting. So let's cut that off. Okay, there's the front. Forget where you are. Okay, now we want the back. Let's see, will it fit? I don't think so. Nope, it's not going to fit. Let's see, do we have any more in there of that paper? Should be another piece. I don't think I've used that yet. There, just a couple more. Alright, we'll set this aside. I'll throw away the little pieces like that, and we'll probably use more of that. And you want to do the back side. Okay, so I'm going to go into fast forward to do this piece and the ears. And it's going to be the same process, putting on the tape and gluing it on and cutting it out, okay? So I'll be back in a minute with you guys. So a couple things as I'm recording this little voiceover here. Did you notice that I put the paper on wrong right away, or did you notice after I wrote the little note telling you I did that? It took me a while to realize I did that, and I can't believe after all that talking about putting the paper on right that I put it on wrong. Just shows you how easy it is to make that mistake. But anyway, it works out fine. And the other thing is, what's the deal with the eyeballs falling out? I was listening to this video and editing it, and I thought, I can't believe I said that. I say things while I'm recording that I usually edit out, but I say the goofiest stuff. I just left that in there. I didn't know your eyeballs could fall out by watching glue dry. That's a new one on me, but I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, so as you can see, I'm just putting on the tape and putting on the glue and cutting out and cut, glue, glue, glue. It's hard to fill space when you don't know what to talk about, but I'm determined to do a talk over through this fast forward stuff, so just bear with me. We're almost there. I'm going to start again in a second. About got her ear cut out, so all right, back to our scheduled program. Okay, you have seen part of this. I'm not going to do all of this on camera. There's just too much of it, and I don't want y'all to get sick of it. So let me give you an idea where we're at so far. That's the body. Pretend the head's covered. And then got your ears. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. The rest of this I'm going to do off camera. What I'm going to do is cover the back with this paper. You can do different paper on the back. I did do that on a few where I ran out of paper and made a mistake and didn't have enough. Or if you have the same paper, that's great. I'm going to do it with the same paper because I like this paper. And then I'm going to decide what I want the face to be. I may do the face out of the same as the body, and then give the head the little circle that I told you about. And I really don't know about the trunk. It's going to be contrasting. So when I get her all cut out, I'll come back before I do anything else and put her together. Okay, I have the feet and trunk and head covered and cut out. And I took a minute to go downstairs and get my drink. I'm drinking a grapefruit, orange, banana, strawberry, and water mixed in the mixer with a little cayenne pepper. It is yummy. So, let's see what she looks like. We gotta do another step, but let's pretend the ears are gonna go on the back. I am gonna put them on with eyelets, so you're gonna see a hole, but let's pretend that we'll put them on the back way. And I don't know if they're going to go up or down or kind of behind the body like that. Maybe like that. Let's see. I don't know. I can't decide where the ears are going to go, but I like them. I think that's cute. And let's see. She's kind of crooked. Got to look at her this way. And then I did take her arms. This is the original size of the foot. And for the top feet or arms or whatever you want to call them, I did cut about 1/4 of an inch off the top. A little bit more than 1/4 maybe. Just because I didn't want these long ones up top here and have to fuss with them. So I just want short ones. And I don't know if they're going to go out like this or in, probably just in somewhere. Maybe like that. Oop, my hands are sticky. I've got glue on them. Okay, let's pretend they're going to go there. This is just ballparking it. Then these are going to be put on with eyelets. That's why I left them long. I want to be able to punch a hole and put them on down here like that. And then we have her little trunk. And it's either going to go to the side, could go up. Probably will go, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I haven't decided. Kind of messes with her arm, but that's okay. Now I want her face, and I think I'm going to use this paper here that I use for her feet to do her face, and I wanted to show you how I do that, just so you would know. But I take her pattern piece for her face, and I lay it on top of the paper, not the back. I lay it on top. And I trace it out. And depending on your paper, you might have to make it a little dark so you can see it. And then I'm going to cut it smaller because I want it to fit in here and I want some of this to show. So we're going to cut in maybe a good, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Let's find a spot. Let's just start on the line first. And then we'll cut it down a little bit. Like I said, this isn't going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now let's cut it down. Let's go in about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. So then we're going to have her head like this. And her feet are going to be down here. I'll put an arm here and the other one there. Okay, I covered the back of the feet because they're going to show. I did not cover the back of the arms because they're going to be on her body. If I was going to have them hang off, which I still may change my mind, I would cover the back. And also, the next thing I need to do is distress the edges, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But what I wanted to tell you before we go any further was, you could even take this pattern that we've got going here, and you could turn her into a mouse if you wanted to. Just take this piece here and cut it more to a mouse ear. So you can play off your patterns. Then we got a little mouse. That's not mouse ears, but you know what I mean. Cut them down like a mouse. Cut them in the shape of a mouse, and that would be a mouse. And give her some whiskers. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is distress the edges. I want to take my distress ink, and I'm using Vintage Photo, and I'm just going to go around the edges of all of my pieces. It kind of covers the white of the back of the paper a little bit. Gives it a little distressed look, and I like that. And I know she's bright and pink and happy, and you know, doesn't really need distressing, but it does help a little bit to disguise the inside white here. You can tell a difference, I think. And I just like it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do that. It is that time of day where it's time for my husband to get home, and so I won't be finishing this today. I was kind of hoping to get it done today, but it just took too long to do the first video where I showed you the different things that I had done with this technique or method, and take care of Bailey and do all the things that have to be done during the day. So plus I'm really out of practice filming, and it's very I feel like this is my first video, you know. I feel like this is the first time I've done this, and it's not but that's how it feels. So what I'm going to do is finish these off camera. Okay, normally I would have my holes already in the pattern piece telling me where I'm going to place all this, but I haven't done that yet because I really didn't know where all the placement was going to go. Let me go ahead and glue this little face on though. That way we won't get that misplaced. And then what we're going to do is find our placement for our feet and for the ears and the trunk. And if they require holes, we're going to put the holes in. About right there is good. Okay, so I have my pattern pieces here because that's where I want the holes for future reference. unless I modify the pattern, which I've already done, but I'll remember that. These don't require holes for the feet, for the top feet. The bottom feet do. So let's pretend I put this on backwards. I wanted her to be this way because I wanted the bottom to be flat, like she's sitting on her hind end. So we've already made a mistake, and I'm going to share it with you, and it's no big deal because who's going to care, right? The head's right, and that's all that matters. But the writing is going to be upside down because I mistakenly put my piece this way. I had my bunnies and stuff in mind, and this would have been the normal way I would have made it. But I really want her this way, so all the writing's going to be upside down. We could start over, but we're not going to. This is just a trial and error anyway. It's a prototype, and I'm doing it with you guys. So the paper's going to be upside down. No big deal. Let's pretend that the feet are going to go down here. First, I want the head up here. And okay, so let's say the hole is going to go in the center. Let's find the center, approximate center, about right there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my crocodile and I'm going to go ahead and make the hole. And I'm going to use the big hole for this one. I don't know what sizes these are. Probably 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch, or 3/16 and 8. I really don't know. I have to really look at it hard to read it. But for now, just call it the big hole, like a regular size punch. See? And now their hole placement's there, and I can mark my piece like this. I'll use this from now on as my pattern piece to put here, and then I'll mark the hole where it's going to go. Let's do this one. I can't believe I put that upside down. Well, I can't believe it. It's okay though. It's okay. Keep telling myself it's okay. It is okay. We said we didn't want to be perfect, right? Well, we're not perfect. Okay, so now we have the holes for our feet. And then when we decide where they're going to go here, we'll mark again on our body and we'll punch our body. Then we'll put our eyelets in, but we won't go that far yet. Probably not today because my husband's on his way home. Now we need the ears. And let's pretend that the ears are, let's see, do I want the floppy, the long end down or up? Probably down. Okay, like that. I'm probably going to just put the whole center of the space here and a little bit back because we're using a big hole. We want enough room. Okay, and then we'll mark our ears. A little space filler. Could I have possibly said mouse any more than I did? This doesn't require a hole because we're not going to punch it through the face. So we don't need that. Okay, I have taken a moment and I figured out the placement of my ears. And what I did was I put them on top and I figured out where I wanted them. Then I marked with my pencil and I did the same thing with my feet. So I'm going to put the holes in the head and the body now with the crocodile. I'm just so technical. Let's just call that the big hole. Gee whiz. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the eyelets in the holes for the head and the ear before I attach the body because I really don't know the position I want the head yet. And I figured if I had this already done, then it'd be one less step to worry about. And I can kind of position the ears a little bit after they're in the hole, after they're punched, but I really want them done mostly before because you don't want to wiggle this too much after you've gotten it done. Yep, I'm seeing a mouse in the future, and a butterfly, and maybe a lamb. Who knows what else? Okay, there's the ears. They're on. And when we decide where we want the head, I can hang it from here. I was talking about how the arms down here would have to have holes for me to help hang it like I did the other things I made, but I could do it from this angle here. I still think I may go from the top though. So let's go down here and do the legs. So how y'all doing? Are you playing along with me? Are you making one? I hope so. Bailey's across the room on the couch, all cuddled up in a blanket, and she looks so sweet and so cute, and she's snoring. I wish I could shoot a picture and show you guys. So we got that together. That's looking cute. And we're going to have his little trunk facing one way or the other. Maybe that way. I don't know. Maybe that way. And his little arms. I say her little arms. Tempted to leave off the arms because I don't like it interfering with the trunk, and I might put laces on here anyway. So could be a bear. That's kind of cool that way. I don't know. I'll think about this. For now, we're going to stop. And actually, let's glue the head on. I want to glue the head on so it can be setting while we're gone. And then we'll pick up where we left off. Where do we want the head? Do we want it straight on? Do we want it angled this way or this way? Up some? Don't pretend those are eyes. They're not eyes. I think we're going to go there. I'm going to glue it and let it set, and I will come back. So where did we leave off? It is the next day. Oh yeah, that's right. I left the head gluing to the body overnight, and this is where we are so far. Isn't he just cute? Or she? I think she's a she. Even though her body's upside down, the wording, it's okay. It's really okay. I think she's adorable. So the next thing I want to do is we have to make her a tail, and we'll do that later. We have hands or other feet we're going to put on, and I was thinking, do I want to put them up here so you can make a lamb? Look at that. That's a lamb if you take off those big ears. And these here could be butterflies. You can make a butterfly out of it without, well, okay. Back on track, back on track. I get so sidetracked because I see all these other things you can make. Maybe make a lamb. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these on just because I think that I can disguise it if I don't like it, or I may like it. And I'm just going to put them here like this. And if they get covered, they get covered. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on the back of them and lay them down. And let them adhere while we go on to something else. So let's just do that. Because I've been agonizing. Even as I went to bed last night, I was thinking, do I want those arms on there? Do I want those other legs? They really don't go, but this is our elephant. We can do what we want. They're on there now. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue the trunk on. Normally I would wait to see if I wanted to add laces and trims, but because this is the very first one and it's sort of a prototype, I'm going to go ahead and put her together, and then we'll decorate around everything, and then I'll know the next one I make, which I probably will make another one. I will decide then whether or not I want to add laces and stuff like that before I put the trunk on. But this first one, let's just put her together. And I think I'm going to put the trunk right there. It touches here and here, so I think I'll put glue on those spots. If I can get the correct spots. I don't need any pop dots on these because they already kind of pop up, so I'll put a little dab here just in case. Well, usually I have that in my mouth. Okay. So let's put that down right there. Okay. And you can move it around if you need to before it dries. Okay. Cute, 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 cute. Okay, and I do want to put some eyes on her, and I'm sitting here, and as I'm talking to you guys, I'm thinking ahead to see what I want to do next, which gets me in trouble because then I forget that I'm to focus on what I'm doing at the moment because I'm thinking so far ahead. But I'm looking at these little pieces that fell out of my crocodile as I punched holes, and I think I'm going to use that for the eyes because I see two sitting right here that look kind of cute, and they are the color of the ears. I think what I'll do is put them down here and look at them and see what I think. You can put them close together, or you can put them out here. It's your elephant. You can do what you want. That looks kind of cute. These get in the way to me, but I think we're going to cover them with bows or something, so maybe I'll bring the eyes in kind of close and make her a little cross-eyed. It could be cutesy. She looks kind of mean that way. So, closer. That's good. So let's just put a little glob of glue under each one and let that dry. Okay, and then I'll move it around in a second. Okay. All right. So far, that's where we are. The other thing I want to do is I want to make some inner ear, and I was going to use this, but there's a lot of this going on with the face and all, so maybe I will use something else. I don't want that. So let's look for a paper in here that would work. That might work. A whole lot of color going on. Let's do that one. That'll be good. And the way I'm going to do it is how I do the bunny ears or different things that I've made inner ears for or faces for, is I take the piece. Oh, one other thing I want to tell you. I decided last night while I was trying to go to sleep that the next one I make, I think I'm going to make this a little wider. So this is thicker up here. And I may keep this piece here for butterflies. So we could make a butterfly. I just had coffee. I'm shivery. I shouldn't have had coffee. You should have it later in the day. Anyway, so I'm going to trace. Goes this way and that way. So let's trace one of these. I'm tracing it on the top of the paper because I'm going to cut it down smaller. And I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Do that. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut on the line. Well, on this one I don't have to cut the line. I'm going to cut inside the line, maybe about 1/4 of an inch, maybe more, maybe even a 1/2 inch. Well, let's start with 1/4 first. Because I don't want to make it too small and I don't want to make it too big either. And I'm just following the shape. It's in the way. I'm just following the shape. It does not have to be exact or perfect or the same or anything like that, because it's just the inner ear. And this has a point on it, I know. We're going to take it off. It's a little bit bigger than what I wanted, but it actually is kind of cute. So because I like it, I'm just going to go ahead and use this as the pattern. And I want it to flip over this way, so we'll go this way. I didn't even need to draw this one because I like this one so well. I'm going to use this. I think I want them a little smaller, just a little bit. Let's put them together and let's go down just a little bit more. Like, just shave off the edges. There, I like that. Okay, let's just glue them on. I was just sitting here looking down on my computer while this is going on, thinking, it's already April. April, you guys, can you believe that? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and I'm going to go look for embellishments and things that I want to put with the elephant, and I'm going to decide if I want her to hold a little teacup that says peanuts or something like that. Maybe a cup that hangs off her trunk or slip under her trunk or just sits on her body like that, or it could be her hat. There's all kinds of things you could do. Okay, you can see here I pulled out a few trims. I stuck with light pink and white, so I thought I'd just bring out the lighter colors. I've got that, and I've got these trims here, different sizes. I don't know what I'm going to use, I haven't decided. And I've got some flowers that have pink in them, various colors, a little bow that's in here that's pink, these flowers here, and some other flowers in here. Just odd stuff. So now I have to decide how I want to decorate her. The first thing I think I want to do, but I know for sure, is I want to give her a little skirt. And I'm going to use this little bit of ribbon here, or not ribbon, lace. It's like a eyelet lace, eyelet trim. Which side's which? This side, I think. Okay. And I'm just going to go across the front like that at the bottom and put that on her like that. Okay, and I don't know if I'll wrap around. I might could on this one. The other ones I couldn't wrap around because it didn't look right. This one looks okay though. So let's cut off about that much. We'll need about that much. And I'm going to use this Helmar 450 quick dry adhesive. I've got to order some of this because I can't find it anywhere. I keep forgetting. And let's put it on the back of the lace. Or the trim. It's really not lace. I don't know if I should call it lace. Eyelet. This is started on the front here. Most of you guys already know this, but just in case you don't, I keep my wet glue in a jar upside down so the glue stays down on the tip, and it's easier to get out, comes out faster, and it doesn't dry up the tip as easily. We've got her little dress on, and she's just cute. I think she's so cute. I think the next one I do, well, I like even better. The first one I do of anything I try, usually I'm like, oh, it's okay, but it's not adorable. And she's kind of adorable, but I'll like the next one better. I'm positive of it. And the next thing I think I'm going to do is take this trim here, and I'm going to put it across the top of the eyelet there. Are y'all that way? The first one you make of anything is like, oh, it's okay. But the second and third, the more you make, the cuter they get. I get that way. That's how the teacup cuties were for me. The first one I made, I thought, oh, that's pretty, it's cute. But the more I made them, the better they seemed to be and the cuter they got. So I'm just gluing on the trim. No biggie. You can see that easily. I'm just filling in the space. Okay, I've been going through all the flowers and stuff that I brought onto my table, and I just wanted to share with you a little bit. I eliminated these because of the colors. I didn't like any of the colors with anything. And I eliminated these because they just didn't go with her, and I didn't like the colors anyway with her. These I haven't eliminated. I'm not sure. I might use this for something. These, the colors weren't right. And these, I pulled out. I might use these still. I pulled out a couple of bows that were stuck in this bag. So there's two little pink bows here I might use. And in this box, I pulled out some of the little flowers, but they are polka dot, which I love. So I've got two of those out that I'm thinking of using. I was going to go with something like this, but there's so much busyness going on that I thought the polka dots looked better. I thought they were cuter. And then I also pulled out a bigger flower for her little hair piece at the top, if I give her hair. And that's a possibility. And I also pulled out this big old huge flower that I might use for her hair. I think not. Maybe not. And these, I pulled out two of this color, the lighter pink, in case I wanted to use those. So there's a lot of possibilities here. And also in this little bag of bows, there's a light pink one, little gingham. So I pulled out the pink one. And I can't decide if I want that up here on her head, or if I want it in the front where her little dress is, or if I want it in the back where her little dress meets in the back. But I'm thinking maybe I might put it right here with her little tail. I haven't made her tail yet, so that's a possibility. And I pulled out these, which I doubt I'll use because I don't really like this style with her. Well, the first thing I want to decide on is, am I going to give her hair? Well, yeah, I think I am. Well, let's figure out, do we want to give her a big, big, big flower for her hair? That'd be kind of cute, especially if you put a big flower there. But I think we're not going to do that. I don't really like this style with her, so let's put that aside. This one, I kind of like the color. It's pale, it's light, it doesn't interfere with everything else going on. I'm folding it together, right sides together, because I like the wrong side better. And let's try it. Let's stick it right there. That's kind of cute. Let's do that. I'm going to glue the flower together first, and then I'm going to glue the flower to her head. So this will stay together like this. And I didn't fold it evenly. There's a little bit of a longer, the back is a little longer than the front. I did that on purpose. And then I either want it centered or off-centered. I think off-centered because her little head is sort of tilted. So let's glue that on. Okay. And we're going to need something up here to kind of decorate her little hair, but that might come in the form of a bow out of one of these ribbons. Haven't decided that yet. Right now I want to decide on these holes here. I wanted something to hang her by. So I wanted to stick something through the hole and have a little hanger back here, which I probably will do, and then I'll probably cover it with something so you don't see it. Unlike the little bunnies and the girls and the birds that I did where I pulled something through the hole and I let you see it. I think I'll hide it. So I think I'll use something soft and easy to manipulate, which would be this organza ribbon here. I'm going to bring her hair down just a little bit. There. There, that's better. I need to decide how much I need for hanging, so I'll kind of figure out maybe that much. And I need about that much for the knot and about that much for the knot. So I'll just cut off a piece about this long. About 8 inches long maybe. Doesn't have to be 8 inches, it could be anything. Just as long as you've got enough. And I'll put it through the hole on one side. And then I'm just going to tie a knot at the end. Tie a knot big enough that won't go through the hole, and because these are big eyelets, you're going to need a little bit of a thicker knot, bigger knot. And once you get that where you like it, kind of pull it through like that, and we're going to glue it a little bit there, and then we're going to cover it with our flower so you won't see it anyway, because it doesn't really look right with her having those things sticking out of the hole. It looked okay on the other ones I made, the girls and the bunnies and the birds. It worked perfect. Okay, so we don't need much for hanging. And you know, you could also, when you're making her, you could also tuck your little hanger in here, like make your little hanger and tuck it right under the body, just enough so that you have enough to hang, and it's glued behind the head and the body. And I may do that the next time. But for now, we're just going to go with a little bit like that. And I know I have to put my knot about right here, so let's pull it through and just start tying. Then I trim off the excess if there's any left over. And then what I'm going to do is put a little bit of, see, now you've got a little hanger back here. What I want to do is pull these back through a little bit, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue at each hole. and then pull them back through this way. As the glue dries, it'll adhere and then they won't come through. You'll have a better chance that they'll stay. Plus, we're going to put flowers on them and glue it, so it's going to stay. So lay it down there and let them glue to the eyelet. Let's work on our flowers here. Now I need to decide, do I want the flower to be, it's going to poke up a little bit, so I might turn it upside down and do it that way. Do I want the other flower on top like that? Or do I want a bow like that? If I did the flowers, I could put the bow up here, which I don't really want. The flowers look cute. The bows will look cute too, though. When I don't know what to do, usually what I'll do is I'll try one way and I'll take a picture of it, and then I'll put the other way on and I'll take a picture of that, and then I'll compare the two pictures on my phone. But I can't do that because I didn't bring my phone. I wanted to make sure I wasn't interrupted, so I left it downstairs. The other thing I could use is these or these. They're the same, actually, these colors here. Let's see what one looks like. That's cute too. But then what would I do up here? Then I kind of want, oh, that looks cute. Oh, that's cute. I like that. So what would we do here? Leave it like that? Guess we could. This could be the inner part of her ear. Could put little bows there to kind of hide it. The problem is they stick up. That's a design flaw. I think I need to reevaluate this. I like that though. Do that and that. That's cute. That's too much. I think I like this. Okay, we're just going to have to just learn to love this, or we're going to have to tie a bow and like it, because I don't want to change that. Let's just glue it down so we're committed. And I'm not distressing the edges. Normally I would, but I'm not going to right now. Yep, gluing it down makes you committed, that's for sure. She's just looking so cute. I'm really enjoying her. I hope you are too. Isn't she cute? That's just so cute. Okay. See what happens when you play around. Something you thought you were going to do doesn't work. Or it works, but you lay your piece somewhere else and then you realize that you like that better. I mean, that was kind of an accident. I didn't plan that. I'm not sure down here yet. I might add some little flowers down here. Or like a flower and a bow and a flower. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Right now I want to decide on this. Do I want to leave that? Let's try making a bow out of this smaller ribbon and see if we like it enough to put it there. Let's just pretend, let's practice real quick. We don't have to make a perfect bow. Okay. Pretend I tie it there. Make a smaller one. Trying to find something to hold it there so I can decide if I like it. That's kind of cute. We might do that. That way it covers that and it makes it look like it was more on purpose. Okay, I have the little bows tied on and glued on. So there's her little bows on her ears. And I'm not quite there with the front. I think that she needs more. I'm trying to decide if I want to put something in her ear, like little flowers or something. But I only have one more of these little polka dot ones in this size. And the other ones are busier, and I don't want to use those. But I do have a bigger polka dots. So I was thinking I might use part of the flower in her ear, like maybe cut it in half and give her like a partial flower with the other flower. I don't know. We'll come back to that in a minute. But what I want to do right now is flip her over, and I'm going to put the tail on. And what I did off camera, and it's real easy, I'll just show you real quick. I just drew a little shape for a tail. I'm just going to cut that out. Yeah, put this on the back right here. And do we want the little bow there like that? Or where's that little bow tie? There it is. That's kind of cute, like that. That's real cute. But it's a constant ritual of mowing around here. People love to mow their yards, which is good. Okay, let's stick it right there. And the bow looks so cute there. We've got to do that. I wish I had more of these little bows in this color, but I used them all already. And I'm going to go with this more fabric glue. And that's still drying a little bit, but there's her little tail with her little bow. I think she's just so cute. The backside of her is just so cute. There we are so far, and now we have to make another decision. One thing I do want to do for sure is I'm going to give her a little pair of socks, and I'll probably use this trim if it's not too big. And I'm just going to put her on the front, not the back. Could do it on the back too. Maybe I'll do it on the back too. But I'm just going to glue trim right here, and then snip it, and then turn it over and glue. Bailey just jumped off the couch. She thinks it's time for her lunch. It almost is time for her lunch. She's only about, 2 hours early. She's always early. I have decided I am going to give her a little cup because along with being in the box art series, I want her to be able to go into the little cup series that I've been working on, which has the bunnies, the little girls, and the birds so far. They all have a little tea or coffee cup or birdseed cup. So she's going to have a little peanuts cup. And I just have to decide, do I want her to have a big cup? Because this is the bigger size. No, I don't want the huge one. There is a huge one over there that I used for one of the things I made, but I want this shape. So do I want the big one, which would cover a lot of her? Or do I want the smaller one, which would kind of sit maybe, I don't know, like that? I think the smaller one would be perfect. And I went through my scrapbook bin, because I was scrap paper bin. I was looking through here to see if there's anything I liked in here to go with her for the coffee cup. And I like the green, but if I use green, somebody might shoot me. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't want to use the green. I don't want to use the yellow, although that was my first choice in here. The pink's too much. There's a purple, not a purple, yeah, there is a purple, but that's too much. Too blendy. So I thought, well, let's go look at the scrap paper bin that I've got, and I found this darker purple that I liked, so I thought I'd make that the cup. And then I've got these two that could be the little tags that go on top. We're gonna do that. And I found a piece of the box that we used to create her that was left, that was big enough for the teacup, and it fits on there just perfect. So we're going to trace out one of those. We've started the staring game. When Bailey wants something, especially her food, and it's not time, she'll sit in front of me and she'll stare. And if I move position so that her eyes don't meet mine, she changes position so that her eyes do meet mine. She's just a hoot. I did tell you at some point in one of the videos that either part 1 or part 2, or I don't know how many parts we have, that you might need a self-healing mat and a X-Acto knife. And I didn't think we would need one for this because I wasn't planning on using a cup, but I've changed my mind. So this is where the X-Acto knife and the self-healing mat come into play. because I want to cut out that hole. And then once I put the paper on, I will also need to cut the paper out of the hole. And be really careful if you do this. It'd be easy to cut yourself. Now I'm going to continue on with the covering. So we're basically going to do the same thing that we did with all the other pieces. Put your tape on, and then I put my glue on, and then we're going to position it on the paper and cut it out, and then flip it over and do the other side. And really, if you're using the X-Acto knife and the self-healing mat, really be careful. I've never cut myself with an X-Acto knife, but I have cut myself doing things, and it isn't fun, and your fingers are important when you want to do stuff like this, so be really careful. And I just stressed around all the edges. I have been using this on the teacup handles of all the other ones I made, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it on this one too. And I just cut enough off to make a little bow. And I don't know which direction it's going to face yet, so we need to figure that out. Probably that direction, because her trunk's going that way. Yeah. Okay, so kind of tie the bow on this side. I really like using the Hug and Snug. It's really easy to tie bows, very versatile, and it's easy to dye another color. Just use your sprays or watered down paint, and you have another color ribbon. And then I trim off the ends if I don't want any long tails. And we're going to just stick a little tiny bit of glue there just to kind of hold it on. Keep it from unraveling. Okay. Now, that's going to be so cute. Oh my goodness, she's just adorable. Now I want to type. Yeah, I'm going to type. I have a typewriter in the garage. I keep saying I'm going to get it out and type up some stuff because I love typed text fonts, and I'd rather put it on an actual typewriter because it's an old memory for me, from years ago. So anyway, I'm going to stamp the words that I want onto plain paper, and I'll find that and come back and show you that in a minute. And then I'm going to cut out the words or the letters and put the words on one of these, and then kind of layer and pop dot it up off of the cup. Okay, so let me get the paper I need and the stamps and everything, and we'll do that. What I have here is Stays On Timber Brown and Stays On Blazing Red. I have a stamp set that has a little heart in it that I'm going to use right there. And then I have my paper. This is the paper that I used to create the pattern on, just that drawing paper. Could be any kind of paper, copy paper, doesn't matter. And then a little set of stamps here. We have a little bit of fast forward time, so what do I talk about? Oh, the stamps. I'm sorry, I cannot tell you what the brand of the stamps are. The letters that I'm using don't have a name on it. It's just in a pink box. The lid's gone, the packaging's gone. It's just one of those cheap ones you get in the bins, like at Michael's or someplace like that. They're not very expensive at all. And the stamp that I'm going to use in a minute that you're going to see me pull out of that purple box is, I think, Recollections, and it's also another one of those inexpensive sets you can get. You get quite a few stamps for the money, so I use those quite a bit. I just went ahead and made the word peanuts with my stamps and my heart, and trying to fit it on that paper because it's the longest word I've used for one of those cups. It's not going to fit very well, so I had to angle it, and I'll explain that once the fast forwarding's done. I'll explain why I did the paper in the back the way I did. Usually I have a whole sheet of paper, a whole piece of paper behind the top paper, but I'll explain why I did that in a second as soon as we get back, which is about now. Okay, you can see that I've done a little piecing. Usually I like a piece of paper behind the paper that has the words on it, but this was a longer word than normal, and it's a smaller cup, so I kind of mixed them up a little bit, like twisting them a little bit to fit them on, and they're hanging off the edge of the page. Then I took the paper I would normally back it with, and I split it in half so that I could have a little showing at the top, a little showing at the bottom. Normally I would want this smaller so that this would show more, but I'm going to leave it like this. I like it like this. And I'm going to put some pop dots on the back so that it stands up off the page. And I'm going to actually use the negative space to start off because I like to use that instead of wasting it. I like to use it when I can. And when I can't, I will use the regular Pop Dots. Y'all hear my squeaky chair? I used to think I would get a new chair because of the squeak, but I have decided that the squeak just adds character to the videos, so I'm keeping my squeaky chair. For now, let's see where we want this, and if we want this on here, or if we want it on her. Probably I'll put it on there. Let's bring her over. If I put it on her, I don't know where I'd put it. Maybe on her trunk. That's kind of cute. I was thinking about tying a bow at the end of her trunk, like a little string or something, because you know how everybody says tie a string around your finger or whatever to remember, and elephants have a great memory and all this kind of stuff. So I was thinking of doing that, so I don't know what we're going to do. Let's just peel the backs of these off, and then I'll put a little glue on the back, then I'll stick it to the cup, and then we'll make another decision. That's all we do, make decisions. Yep, I'm going to stick it to the cup. Sometimes when I'm editing and I rehear things I say, it's like, I don't know, maybe I could have said something different. Okay, so we have a little bow, and let me bring this up to you. And the heart there, we could go that route, or I could put the bow here and still have the heart here. Or I could put the heart up here with the bow, or just the bow down here. That might work. I like that. The heart's cute there, but the bow, the little bow, is significant to me because it represents all those sayings about elephants and stuff. So I think that makes more sense for me. And I can always make another one. I'm going to make more. The next one I could try different. Don't you know? All I needed to add to the end of that sentence was mate. Don't you know, mate? I decided where I wanted my little cup to go. It's going to go right here. And because there's lace at the bottom and trim, it's a little bit higher up down here than here. It kind of sunk down. So I put a couple of Pop Dots on the back. So we're just going to glue it down now. And we're going to glue it over the lace and everything. So we're going to use a very good tacky glue. And again, we're going to use the Helmars. There, like that. So you can see her hand still here and here. You can still see her feet and her little socks. You can still see her lace and her trim. A lot of stuff disappears, but on this one you can still see it. We're going to let that dry. I've got her little bow tied on the end of her nose. Oop, this way. And now we are finally going to be forced to make a decision about the ears. The good thing is I brought my phone up with me. I can take a picture and see what I like. So let's take a picture of her without anything. Then let's take a picture of her with the flowers. She's so cute. We're just going to have a little photo shoot here for a minute. Make a few fashion statements, decide what looks best. So then I'm going to go back through my photos. I'm going to look and I'm going to see, okay, well, I just took that one, so let's go back to the very first one. All right, that's without. And I think she's really cute without. And that's with the flowers. She's cute with the flowers. She's cute with the bows, but I think the bows are out. So let's delete that photo. And she's cute with the half flowers, but I don't really like that either. So we're going to get rid of that. So now we have to decide with flowers, without flowers. That's still tough. Wow, it's still tough. I think the flowers need to be smaller, maybe. If I had a small flower, would that make a difference? Let's see. Okay, let's look at that. Small flower. Those big flowers, she's got to have something in her ear. So the one without is out. I think the big flower is going to win because I don't like the little one, so that's out. The only other thing I was thinking of maybe doing is putting like chipboard in her ear, like a heart or a flower or a words, or maybe her letter. I decided she's going to have to be the E in the box art series because we already had, what happened was I created A, B, and C, which was Anne, B, and Camilla. Then I created D, which was Dula, and there are videos for these in the playlist for box art series. Also for Misfits, the Misfits. And then we went to F and G, Fraser and Grover, which was the cat and the dog, and we totally skipped E. So there is no E. She's going to be E. I just haven't named her yet. I don't want it to be Ella because that's so typical of Ella the elephant. So we need to come up with a name for her. So far I like the ones with the flowers. So I'm going to go for a second and evaluate some chipboard pieces, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you the final decision. We have to decide. We have no choice. We just have to. Okay, I found some alphabet letters that I liked. There's E's that are large and polka dot, which is cute. And then I also found these E's, which are small and different color. And I put those on the ear. So I did the picture thing like I told you about before. Let's look at the picture with the flowers. Can you see that? There she is with the flowers. I can't see it as well now. There's the little E's. And there's the big E's. I don't know about you guys, but I know the big E's are out. This is how I do things. I like the little E's. I think that we're going to go that route. So that's how I figure out what I like and what I don't like if I'm having trouble. And I don't always have trouble. I had trouble with this one. So let's just dress those a little bit. And we are almost finished with her. I don't have enough time to say anything during this little speed through. We're going to glue those on. I want that to sit on there for a minute and get nice and set so it doesn't come off. And let's hope they won't fall off. I'll hold them up like this. The back, we need to decide, do we want anything else on the back? Normally, I would put something along the bottom here, like that. If I had another one of those flowers this color, I'd put that on, but I don't. So we could do this here. And that's kind of cute. Or we could just put that on. What else we've got? We've got some ribbon. We could make a bow. Let's see, maybe a big bow? What would a big bow look like? Let's just whip one up really fast. Doesn't have to be a perfect bow because we can redo it. No, because we already got that, so I don't want that. So I don't know, I may not add anything. Maybe these. I put everything else away because, well, most everything, because I didn't want it all out. So let's see what these look like. Maybe they'll look cute on there. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. It takes away a little bit from the E though, so we're not going to go that route. That's cute though. Flower on her nose, that's cute. Oh, I need a bee on her nose. I have a bee somewhere. That's cute. Oh, boy, I could just keep adding to her, couldn't I? Okay. Put these back here like that, and maybe put one of those in the middle. Or just put two, kind of like three of everything. Bow and flowers. That looks cute. It looks like part of her little dress, and it doesn't take away from that. So we're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. I have decided that I'm going to call her Ellie because I've thought of names with E, and there's a lot of cute ones, but Ellie is just so cute, and it's so cute for an elephant. So we are going to go with Ellie, and it's going to be spelled E-L-L-I-E. And She is the newest edition of our box art series, and she's going to be in the the little cup series, the little tea and coffee cup girls. And then the last thing we need to do, and this is important, and I've told you this before, but you need to sign your name because you never know where your art's going to wind up, and somebody might want to know who made it, so, or remember who made it. So I'm just going to say Laurie 2017. And her name is Ellie, so we need to put her name on there somewhere. I'll just write it up here. Alright, that way we'll know her name is Ellie. Okay, so let me give you guys a close-up. We are done with Ellie the elephant. I think she's just adorable. I hope you guys, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I enjoyed it, and it's amazing what you can make. This is a box, some pieces of pattern that we cut out that are just odd shapes that don't really make an elephant, but we made it an elephant. And I think this is going to be a butterfly. That may be the next thing I do in the box art series. I'm not sure. Let's see. Would it look better without this mat thing here? Okay, Ellie loves peanuts. She's so cute. I love her. So if you enjoyed it, I'm really thrilled. And I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you again soon for another video, okay? All right. See you later. Bye-bye.